ready, set, go.
Okay, so now we're on to segment number 3, and that's making your stems with the bias tape maker. So again, these are already cut on the bias. So that means a 45-degree angle has already been cut. What you're gonna do is you're gonna take your strip of fabric that you got, and you're gonna cut strips 3/4 of an inch. Just cut the whole thing up because we're going to use all these stems throughout the entire project. So cut them all. We're going to make them all at the same time. So those are your stems. Here's my sample stem that's already been cut at 3/4 of an inch. So what you do to use your little bias tape maker, which is a Clover number 9, which is the 3/8 bias tape maker, you are going to take any kind of starch product, Flatter, Best Press. I like this one just because I like the scent. So anyway, just spray it. Spray your fabric. You don't want it soaked, but you do need it wet, all of it, but not drippy, okay? In order to get it through the end of a bias tape maker, since it's still kind of wet, it doesn't want to go, just iron the tip about an inch so it's nice and dry and stiff. So you can see now this part's nice and stiff, and it's going to go wrong side up into the bias tape maker. Get in there. If it doesn't want to go, sometimes I'll use the side that's actually already cut in a diagonal. It just goes in a little bit easier. So let's try that. Goes in. And once you get it started, you can use your stiletto, which I have over here. And you can see on the bottom, see how my fabric's coming through? That's what that's for. And when it comes out, it's going to come out folded. So can you see that right there? So it's already folded. Now I'm going to keep my iron on this side as it's coming out, because that's just going to, the longer it's staying underneath my iron, it's just going to lay flat. You can hear it steaming. If you find that maybe it buckled or it turned, no problem. Just either wet it and do it again, or push it back a little bit and make it come out right. You can also use your stiletto to kind of help it if it doesn't come out right. All right, and we would just keep going until the strip is done. But what we're gonna do is we're gonna pretend that I've already finished it all. So this is a strip that I already did, and I did it the same way that I just showed you. Now that I have all my strips, my lengths, what I want to do when I get ready to put it all together, I'm going to take my pattern, and I have my pressing sheet, which is an applique pressing sheet. It's kind of like a Teflon sheet that you would make cookies on. What you're going to do is, you can see under here, I'm going to pretend this is the stem that I need to make. I'm going to take an end of my stem, and it's going to go underneath where that flower would normally go. Can you see where the flower is? And I'm going to put a pin in there. This is my wool mat here. I like this mat because it's about a 1/2 inch thick. I can use my long pins to put all the way through my mat, and it'll hold it. So what you're going to do is you're just going to take your iron, and all you do is follow your pattern. And see how you can see underneath there, and this will curve. It'll curve exactly how I want it to go because we did it on the bias. And if I find like maybe I've got a sharp point and it wants to turn itself, just use your pin. Put it there. You notice I'm still holding my iron here. But when I let go, it's gonna stay. Just like that. So when you're all finished, just remember, gather them all up, put them in a box, and save them all, because we're going to use them for, see, there's some more on the houses. That way you'll have a choice. We'll probably put different fabric in there, but you can then go back and use your striped fabric, which I think is really cute. All right, I'm kind of thinking I'm keeping this polka dot fabric right here. So, all right, and we're going to go one more segment, and that segment is to put it all together. So if you're not there yet, hang on, we're coming back.